Last team to hit on here, let's kick it on down to Gainesville, where the Gators also had a scrimmage over the weekend. And, Billy, man, he didn't seem too pleased with everything he saw on the field. His quarterbacks didn't play up to standard, struggled in the red zone. A little update here, Shane. Ricky Pershaw, the receiver, he didn't play. So, still rehabbing from that injury. Jason Marshall, he got banged up, their number one corner. So, little nicks and bruises down here in Gainesville that, again, this is not a team that you can't replace a lot of these guys. So,
right.
I'm a little – I'm not hitting the panic button here, but a little concerned when we got some star players here that are banged up in Gainesville. You know what?
Yeah, and you're going to hear him talk here in a minute. It was, I didn't sense a lot of optimism here. And one thing about these scrimmages, Mike, especially when we're just tackling for the first time, usually the offense is ahead of schedule and the defense is coming up from behind. So are you a little discouraged? I'm not trying to hit the panic button or anything like that. But this Florida Gator team has got to hit the ground running. If they're going to make some noise in the SEC this year, they cannot afford to be 3 or 4 games to kind of find their identity. They got to discover it real quick. Are you a little worried, that the first scrimmage didn't go so well, or you just think it's just too early to tell?
Well, I think it's a little early to tell, and I don't know how much Anthony Richardson even competed in this. So, when he's calling out the quarterbacks, I don't know that he's specifically calling out Anthony Richardson, but I think it goes back to just how important Anthony Richardson is to this football team. And if he's not in the lineup, I think Florida's going to have a really, really rough year. But if he plays up to his potential, I think they can surprise a lot of people, which, that very simplistic. But when you have a roster that, on paper doesn't match up with Georgia and Alabama and maybe even A&M, that's what you need. You need an X factor. You need an All-American. You need a breakout candidate. And that's why I think if Florida's going to do big things, and I think they are, I think it's because Anthony Richardson is a breakout player.
The scrimmage, I think for the most part out of there relatively healthy. Really good work. I thought both sides of the ball, we've taken steps forward. The film is much cleaner maybe than spring practice. I think fundamentally we're a lot further along. I do think the communication is improving. We still have quite a few plays where maybe we were, 9 or 10 out of 11 from an execution standpoint. And, I think it affects the play, obviously. But overall, good energy. I thought the intangibles were there, but overall a lot to learn. And I think the big thing is we had a very physical scrimmage, but we were able to stay healthy and make progress. And obviously had a chance to watch that film yesterday and again some this morning. I think the offensive unit, the first offensive unit, was the only team that didn't meet the quota, didn't meet the goal for the day. And I think those are all very correctable, if that makes sense, procedurally. So outside of that, I thought it was pretty clean. We had a full crew in here, all college officials that, had a good set of eyes on everything, told them, we agreed to call it just like it was game day. We wanted to know if we have issues. We wanted to expose those. Next Saturday, we've got a full SEC crew coming into town for practice Friday and also the scrimmage Saturday. So putting a premium on that, and I think we're heading in the right direction there.
What about the quarterback play? How would you assess?
I thought the defense did a good job of limiting explosive plays. And I think that we didn't score touchdowns in the red area. That was an objective that we didn't meet on offense, and I think the defense obviously contributes to that. But overall, we did turn it over a few times. So the quarterback efficiency wasn't what we want it to be. Now, does that mean, I think there are a lot of things contribute to that when you're playing with a mixture of lineups and different positions, different players. So, but it can be better. That's what I would say.
Coach, when you evaluate the turnovers in the scrimmage, how much of it was a quarterback mistake or something forced by the defense? And then I'm just curious about turnovers in general, how much they're drilled and your philosophy on.
Yeah, no, we We threw it to the defense in a couple situations where it happens, right? 3rd and long, 2 minute, nothing alarming here, okay? Nobody's, our quarterback, we get it. It's going to happen. But, the good thing is our defense is creating some of that, right? I mean, we're playing well. We're affecting the quarterback. We're playing well in the back end. Part of our formula here is we got to protect and affect, right? We want to protect our quarterback and affect the other quarterback. And you do that in lots of different ways, right? You push the pocket, you tip balls, you hit the quarterback, you sack the quarterback. The element of disguise, right? I mean, there's so much that goes into that, but it's a big part of playing winning football. In creating those passing downs, creating those advantage opportunities for the defense. And I think the interceptions from the other day happened in those situations.
Billy, what do you think are kind of
Yeah, I think so too. And I don't know if you saw the new facility down there, but Florida Gators, Florida Gator fans have got a lot to be happy for. I mean, the recruiting is on fire. Their new facility looks immaculate. Your quarterback is healthy. I saw his little box there, and above him, he's got a little post talking about the top. Somebody wrote an article. I figured it was you, Mike. I tried to zoom in. It says the top 4 SEC quarterbacks, and he's not on it. So everybody's finding their motivation and stuff, and it just, I don't know, just the stars are starting to line up down there in Gainesville, and maybe I just try not to read into Napier here because, we've not heard him too much. I don't know if this is going to be the way it's going to be. I mean, I say it every time he talks, man. You got to get some coffee because Billy just comes out. They should call him Billy Sleepier because I'm sleepier every time I listen to him. But he just ho-hums and things aren't, didn't work out great today. But I think this is another prime example of coach speak. I think the Florida Gators are further along than he's putting on.
Yeah.
And you're right. I think right now they don't have the full offense. They don't have the full defense because there are a few guys banged up. But you're going to have that right out of fall. Right when fall camp starts, these soft tissue injuries they flare up. You're just getting them game ready. So I'm not putting a panic button at all. I'm with you. I think they're better off. But it's just so much momentum in Gainesville. I'd love to see the coach come out here and just lean into it,
When you talk about recruiting, Shane, the Gators just put, defensive line is a huge issue, a need. Man, they have attacked it. 4-star Kelby Collins, the number 6 defensive lineman, committed. Will Norman, another 4-star originally from Connecticut. He's at IMG, number 21 defensive lineman. He's in the boat. 4-star defensive lineman. Cameron James of Orlando, the number 35 defensive lineman, and 4-star Aaron Gates from Georgia, the number 23 athlete. 18 of 20 commits are 4-star prospects. That's what you need to make Florida relevant in the SEC. So let's kick it over to Billy Napier real quick. Talks about all this momentum on the recruiting trail.
recruiting momentum? I know you can't get into specifics, but big weekend. What do you just think about the recruiting momentum you guys have built this summer?
Well, I mean, I think can't compliment our staff enough, right? I mean, I think we've got we've hired really good people. We're thankful for the administration giving us the resources to create the infrastructure that we do have. You know, from a personnel department standpoint, on-campus recruiting, Gator made, the on-field assistance to go. You know, we have. You know, I think the old adage, work your plan your work and work your plan, right? I think that's, you know, we talk about that early on. We're going to plan our work. We're going to work our plan. We're going to be diligent. We're going to be consistent. I think we've got an incredible product to sell in the University of Florida and all that comes with that. You know, there's history here. There's tradition here. There's an elite education experience here. We have an alumni network that can help position our players for success when football's over. We have one of the best game days, if not the best game day venue in all sports. And I think we're, you know, we've got a prime location, right? So I think that we're learning more about our product. I think we're getting more comfortable, you know, with our processes in-house. And I think recruiting, the intangibles that you challenge your players to have, I think the same things can be said of your staff. So I think what you're seeing here is that the Gators aren't going away on the recruiting trail, right? I mean, we're gonna follow through. We're gonna be diligent, and look. Verbal commitments mean lots of different things these days, right? So the finish line is out there, a few months from now. So, but I am excited and humbled that, the caliber of player, but more importantly, the caliber of person and family that some of these young people come from, that they have confidence, in our plan for their son, and I think we've tried to make a huge emphasis on the commitment to all areas of development, right? I think the vision here in the beginning was to create an organization that has life-changing impact, right? And we're going to work hard at who they are as people. We're going to prioritize their education, and we're going to teach football at a high level, right? So, I think we'll improve as we go, right? This is certainly a sign, that we're gaining some traction here.
All right, brother. Hey, well, I think that.
Well, and then comes out. He's like, well, until they sign, it's like, oh, man, come on. Let's keep riding this thing. Come with. Who's with me? Gator, what does he call it? Gator Maid?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how original that is, but I like it. So keep doing it. And that's what I was just giving him a hard time. I think the momentum, you create that. You got that new environment down there.
Yeah.
You got a fun, exciting quarterback. I'm not worried about him, but damn, sometimes he drives me nuts.
Well, buddy, I think that's a